On the line, we have Yvonne Jones, the Liberal MP for Labrador. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Pete?
Pretty good. That was quite something just then, didn't you think?
Well, I did. I listened to Denise very attentively, and of course, I was invited to the meeting they're having this evening as well. And if I was in Labrador tonight, I would attend the meeting. I'd just like to hear what people have to say, hear their different perspectives and viewpoints on how they feel as a part of the province and whether they feel like they're inclusive when it comes to decision making. I know how I feel myself personally, and I deal with these issues every single day, and quite often, there's a lot of frustration that goes with trying to move the Labrador agenda forward. And probably in all the years I've been involved in Labrador, this is one of the toughest times that I have seen in trying to garner and gain good perspective on Labrador issues that benefit the people in the region. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of their discussions tonight and where they go from here in terms of how they're going to deal with some of these issues. And of course, I will support them in trying to gain greater recognition for the issues in Labrador and move those issues forward, which is part of my responsibility, no doubt. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see not only how many people show up, but exactly what comes out of it in terms of ideas and strategy and perhaps future plans for similar discussions elsewhere in Labrador. It's an important, anniversary today with the flag turning 40 and all it represents. So people's minds are, perhaps, congealing now on issues related to Labrador and feeling that some work needs to be done and some collaboration perhaps needs to be established.
Well, Pete, today, in marking the 40th anniversary of the Labrador flag, I first of all want to acknowledge and thank Mike Martin and his family. It was their family that really created this flag as a symbol of pride for Labradorians to mark, what we call sacred land, and also to mark who we are, part of our history, part of our culture. And, in Labrador itself, the Labrador flag has really become the icon of celebration, along with marking every special occasion, in our history. So, it's a very important flag to the people of Labrador. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. And it is used in all ceremonial purposes.
Yeah, it's a beautiful flag, too. In addition to all the symbolism, it's just a very attractive, distinct, aesthetically pleasing design. I think it has the geometry of it, but also the organic part with the little spruce twig in there. I think it's beautiful and genius.
Well, it is, and the story of the flag and how it's compiled really marks and symbolizes who we are as Labrador people and as a society. And there is absolutely no reason for the government of Newfoundland and Labrador to be threatened by the Labrador flag, and that's the sense that I get. I want to raise an issue today that is, long burning in the craw of so many people in Labrador. And that is that when you come to Labrador, when you cross that border in Blanc-Sablon to enter Labrador, we have the huge sign that says, "Welcome to the big land."
Huge sign.
Huge sign.
It should say, "Welcome to the huge sign."
Yeah, welcome to the big land, Labrador. But yet, the government has refused to allow us to fly the Labrador flag there. So today, there's the Canadian flag, the Newfoundland flag, and the Union Jack. Mm-hmm. And we want to fly the Labrador flag. And there's absolutely no reason why we should not be able to do so. And it's the same thing when you come in from the Quebec side to Labrador West. When you're driving in, you have the big sign that says, "Welcome again to the big land, Labrador," but no Labrador flag. And, you know, it's the one thing that Labradorians have been asking for from this government since those signs were put there about 8 years ago, and we still have not been able to get the reply that we're looking for. So it's unfortunate that something that symbolizes our history, our culture, identifies us as who we are as Aboriginal people of the land, a symbol in which we have such pride in, but yet we have a government that tells us that we cannot fly it in places that are particularly important to us. And I think that is wrong, and I think this is the kinds of issues that speaks to the divide that you often see between the island of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be. No doubt there's some political notions in there of what it would constitute. But I tell you what I'd like to see, and then this wouldn't go over with people in Labrador very well either. I'd like to see it replace our provincial flag and become the provincial flag for all of us, because I just think it's a much a better flag generally all around. But in any case, I won't open that can of worms here today. But I thank you for your comments. We're going to take our break, but we'll talk again soon on this and other issues, I'm sure.
Well, there's lots of issues to talk about, but before I finish, I also want to mark the occasion of the sealing disaster in Newfoundland and Labrador. You know, it's a 100-year anniversary. It claimed the lives of 251 of our loved ones in this province 100 years ago, and it done so in an industry that was very tough, but it was one that provided a tremendous living for so many families across Newfoundland and Labrador. And I get so upset these days every time I hear of a person who's standing up, some celebrity, saying that they're against the sealing industry in Newfoundland and Labrador. They do not know who we are. They do not know what this industry has done for our people and what it continues to do to build on the culture of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. And, you know, again, I think that we have to be stronger in standing up against that issue. And it seems like sometimes the things that matter most in terms of defining who we are the things that we often let go too easily. And I think there's a lot more that we could be done on fighting back on the sealing industry and telling the story of how this industry has shaped the people of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Couldn't agree with you more, and I think that a lot more people could be more self-sufficient and better off today if the industry was allowed to flourish as it once did and could very well again. Yvonne Jones, listen, I really got to go, but listen, thanks for that, and we'll talk again soon.
Okay, thank you, Peter.
All the best.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.